August 2026. Karnataka's political landscape looks calm, but a storm is gathering momentum, and mainstream outlets are looking past the actual timeline of impact. NG Karatagi and the Raja Sudi Center monitor the state's internal political machinery, tracking stress points long before they reach the public. They operate as a specialized intelligence network with a demonstrated track record of mapping political shifts. Earlier this August, the center published a report detailing the impending dismissal of a cabinet minister within a 5-day window. On August 11th, exactly as predicted, the dismissal occurred. They also mapped the Legislative Council elections, warning of internal betrayal despite official party projections. The final tally showed 11 to 12 votes migrating to the opposition, matching their intelligence. When state leaders pushed for immediate cabinet expansion, the center identified the internal friction and projected a 60-day freeze. 2 months passed without any movement. The expansion completely stalled. With 3 verified projections on the record, the center's current warning of a deadlocked government warrants serious scrutiny. Their models suggest the administration is reaching a critical failure point. The assembly currently appears outwardly functional. Leaders like D.K. Shivakumar have managed the latest session smoothly, maintaining the appearance of a government in full operation. Here, Mallikarjun Kharge, Chief Minister, and D.K. Shivakumar are seated together, representing the party's centralized authority structure and projecting stability to the public. Behind this display, the High Command is struggling with a puzzle. They are under pressure to fill vacant quotas for female ministers, while simultaneously meeting Siddaramaya's specific requirements for his own allocations. This specific type of paralysis turns a standard reshuffle into a major liability. When the top of a political structure completely stops moving, the bottom begins to fracture under the pressure. The reshuffle is currently blocked by a simple mechanical problem. Inserting new blood requires removing powerful incumbents. The leadership is hesitant to act because of the legal liabilities many of those incumbents carry. Minister B. Magendra is a primary example. He is currently facing court-ordered restrictions that legally forbid him from traveling to Bangalore or Delhi, physically locking him out of the primary strategic arenas of power. The opposition BJP is using Nagendra's travel ban as a blunt instrument. They are attacking the government's legitimacy continuously, both on the floor of the House and in public protests. Then there is Puttaranga Shetty. Years ago, officials discovered 25 lakhs in unaccounted cash directly connected to his office here at the Vedana Soda. It is a scandal that continues to compromise his position today. Retaining ministers under active legal bans and associated with cash scandals erodes the administration's moral authority. It forces the party to spend its political capital defending its weakest links. Social dynamics add another layer of complexity. Zamir Ahmed remains in his post despite numerous allegations, because removing him would disrupt the party's critical Muslim representation. Any move against Zamir triggers a chain reaction. The party must then manage rivals like Rizwan Arshad, while simultaneously trying to elevate female leaders like Kaniz Fatima to secure the Hyderabad-Karnataka region. This hesitation from the High Command has created a power vacuum. Without clear direction from the top, individual MLAs are turning their weapons inward to protect their own interests. Discipline is already breaking. Yashwanta Rai Padal, an MLA from Indi, has openly accused sitting ministers within his own party of actively working to divide society. The chaos is pulling in powerful regional dynasties. Factions led by families like the Krishnappas are attempting hostile takeovers of veteran seats, trying to force figures like Balakrishna to step aside to balance the internal math. By allowing regional factions to openly war over cabinet scraps, the High Command is essentially presiding over the dismantling of its own government. Individual names and scandals are symptoms of a larger collapse. This deadlocked reshuffle is the frantic attempt to patch a hull already shattering under pressure. Based on the trajectory of this internal rot, the Raja Sudi Center has identified a specific window for a total system failure, September 2026. Their projection describes a political tsunami, a moment of sudden, violent shifts in loyalty that will break the traditional boundaries of state politics. This image highlights the vulnerability of the national party structure. A collapse of this scale in Karnataka will send shockwaves through the entire organization. exposing weaknesses from the regional level to the very top. The center frames the danger with a specific warning: a stepped-on cobra will strike. Cornered factions within the state cabinet, realizing they have no safe path forward, are likely to lash out, damaging the system as they fall. The current scramble for ministerial berths is a precursor to a larger event. September 2026 is the projected date of impact, and Karatagi's map is the only one showing where the fault lines actually sit.